Hello again, everybody! This is Dr. Kendo, and I'm back with another Scribblenauts Unlimited Object Editor commentary. This is where I just create your favorite characters in the Scribblenauts Unlimited Object Editor, which is only on the Wii U and PC versions of this game. Let's go ahead and get it started. So we'll go in and open up the Object Editor, and basically today we're going to be creating Captain Underpants, and that's of course for the film that has recently come out. But also it was most requested by you guys, and so of course leave your comments, and whatever is most popular, most requested is what gets created each week. So we've started off with Icarus, of course, as our source object today. You can actually leave the legs on right here. The legs and the feet look good for the Icarus character, but then of course we've just got the torso. That's the only other part. We removed the head and the arms. We're typing in a glow stick at this time, and we're gonna basically make this be the top band that's there on the underpants, of course, because Captain Underpants is in essence just a dude in a cape and underpants. I mean, to put it simply. Cuttlefish, that's what we've got next coming up here, and up at the top, basically, you know, those tentacle arms right there that you can see in the front. Well, basically the very far left, it would be to our left, arm of the cuttlefish, there's that sort of almost pointy piece at the end. It has that like pointed edge to it a little bit. Well, essentially we're going to be putting these down within the band and stuff, so it's going to look good for some detail right there. So you saw that I did that several times. Just copy it and move it over. And so then I'm going to type in an octopus after this. And so with the octopus, we can go kind of to the right next to the little octopus head body part. And there's this tentacle right here that's almost like a wide open V type shape, wide angle. Use that tentacle, paint it all the way white, and we can put it down here, just basically lined up with the leg. So you saw that I moved the leg out of the way. You do want it attached to the torso grid. You know, you don't want to be attaching it to the leg or some other part. A glow stick again, paint it all the way white. And if you do like the bleachest, whitest of white color that you can get all the way in the top corner of the whiteness for the paint palette, then it will get rid of any details of any stamp. So for instance, the glow stick has these little pieces to it that normally would show up if it was any other color. Well, this basically eliminates that. So notice with this phantom body right here that we've got, we want to paint it a specific texture pattern that I'm looking for. So I press that paintbrush down in the bottom middle of the screen, and basically then I'm just opening up the texture pattern library, and here on the 19th page in the bottom right hand corner, it's a yellow pattern right now. We actually want to paint over that red though, so we mainly used it though because it has all these little dots in it and stuff. So like the cape for Captain Underpants, and this is of course, if I didn't specify, mostly the film design, you know, the 3D animation design. There's just very slight differences between it and the books of old, so I mean, in essence, you could probably use it for even if you were trying to get a little bit more like the comic version. Took that same octopus tentacle piece basically earlier, and we made that for the neck part of the cape. So basically, you know, where it ties over his neck right there. And then we've got a worm. We took the middle body piece of a worm and put that sort of in the middle. It's basically the middle of where it's tied like this, and there are two little pieces of it draping down, so that will be Fang. So of course you type in Fang, put those behind that worm body right here, and we did it twice if you didn't notice. And so then I'm just going to take a wart. This will actually be for the little nippies, and we'll put them to the side of the fangs right there, so that's okay. The only Maxwell brother, actually, if you, at least to my knowledge, if you have, you know, all of those Maxwell brothers to choose from, well, the only one that is just a solid arm, you know, there's nothing else, it's just one solid color arm, is Tots, and so we actually took Tots, and Tots was actually a really good stamp for the arms as well for Captain Underpants, because his arms are kind of skinny in proportion to the rest of him, just really thin, I guess. But alright, it looks like we've named it Captain Underpants, and we're going to go into the properties editor. This is where you can just edit health and other information for your character. So this is where I like to read background information and fun facts about whatever we create in this series. So let's go. Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, or simplified, it's known as just Captain Underpants, is a 2017 American 3D film based on the children's novel series. It was produced by DreamWorks Animation and Scholastic Entertainment, directed by David Soren, and stars some pretty good voice talent from the likes of Kevin Hart, Ed Helms, and several others. The movie's actually setting the record as DreamWorks Animation's cheapest computer animated feature film, as it was made with a budget of $38 million. It was released on June 2nd in the United States. We don't want to go too spoil heavy or too deep into the plot of it, so I'll just basically leave it at simply this. Basically, two imaginative prankster kids named George and Harold hypnotize their principal into thinking he's a dim-witted and ridiculously enthusiastic superhero named, you guessed it, Captain Underpants. Of course, see the movie, read the books of old to get a sense for the calamity, basically, that will ensue after that. It's obviously much more of a plot than that. That's just your basic premise. And so we've got a head as the source object. We're now going to be creating the head separate from the body. I used a dot right here. That'll be the start of the nose, and the ostrich egg went over the head. The ostrich egg is the main shape of, I guess, Captain Underpants' head. A crane, of course, the bird crane, and we're going to take the middle neck piece right now. That'll be for the eyes here. If you ever do create a head and a body separately in Scribblenauts Unlimited, the reason that you would do that is because this game does have a stamp limit. Each of these things that we've placed down, like this dot that I'm also going to put down once again, those are all a stamp. So we're actually going to do 2 dots here because it's the black pupil of Captain Underpants' eyes, and a wart we shrunk down basically as small as you could and painted it white for some glimmer and shine in the eyes. A road hump I'll use for the mouth, but yes, with that stamp limitation, of course, you know, it means that you'll run out of stamp space. Say if you're using my design to create your body, well, it obviously didn't have a head, so we needed to make that separately, and I'll show you how to attach them together coming up pretty soon. A headband I'm going to type in next, and we can paint that all the way white right here and turn it around, actually, upside down. And so we'll basically make that this kind of top row of teeth right here. And so there are many, I guess, expressions you can make him have. I'm just kind of going with a big, wide open mouth, showing the tongue right here, which is going to be a yarmulke. Hopefully you could see how to spell that. Jellyfish, we're going to take that next, and right next to the jellyfish's body is basically a line. It's just part of the tentacle pieces of the jellyfish, so that upper tentacle line piece we can do several times here to be the lines to distinguish where his teeth are within that headband, basically within that mouth. So then we've used dartfish, and after you've typed in dartfish, just grab that top fin. It's really long and kind of thin right there. This will be done twice, painted black for his eyebrows up here up top. We actually might move them even further up. Another dot we're actually going to use right here right now, and we're going to do that twice, basically. Color it that same skin color that we have Captain Underpants' skin here. This is going to be the start of the ears. We'll add to them with a golf ball, so I'll type that in after that, and we use the golf ball twice, of course, for the hole within the ear, just to add some more detail to that. So let's go ahead and name Captain Underpants' head right here, and I will show you now the scripting. So go down to that scripting tool in the bottom right. After you click on that, basically, and you're in the properties editor, you can just go, of course, edit some health or whatever, but go down to the equipment tab, and there's these 4 circles if you see on the bottom half of the screen. Well, that third circle down from the top, or second from the bottom, basically it says can be worn on the face like glasses, and you want to fill that in. So just be sure that that circle's filled in. You could also do can be worn on the head like a hat. It just means that it's going to be even higher up, but glasses should do the trick. We'll see in a second, but I did just want to show you if you want to make little toes on your body object, we did have enough stamps to basically take the middle body piece of a worm. I'm not going to keep this because I don't personally like how it looks, but I figured some of you guys might want to see what it looks like with the toes in there, so we gave him plenty of toes there with the middle body piece of a worm. But okay, so now that we've got our head and our body object on the field, I'm going to give the head object to the body object, and it looks like it's actually, I mean, this might be like the best coincidental positioning. I mean, that is almost exactly where I want it to be. I mean, I'll make like some very slight adjustments to that head, move it up a little bit more, but honestly, that is just a shining example of good luck with that. You know, you basically hardly need to edit it at all, but if you do need to make edits ever, if you're creating a head and a body separately, I'll show you what to do. You just go ahead and edit this torso right here after you click or tap on it, depending on if you're playing on the Wii U or PC, of course. And so then it goes back into editing the body object here in the object editor. Turn on these green grids. It's basically this button on your left side panel of buttons and stuff that you can use. Top right corner, it turns on the green grids that show where the arms are, the legs are, the head, and all that. So then you would just move that head grid up, down, wherever you need it to go, basically. So I just wanted to inch it up very, very slightly for this creation, and that looks good. So why not put our creation to the test? Let's go ahead and we've got our Robbie Rotten creation when I was doing that We Are Number 1 episode. So Robbie is now going to fight Captain Underpants. We basically just made Robbie be hostile or aggressive. You can add either adjective or whatever to get it all angry, and it actually looks like Robbie would definitely win this battle. I mean, I don't think I need to finish this out because it would take just a really long time. But because Robbie is actually a ranged character and Underpants is not right here, our Captain Underpants creation probably would not have ended up winning that. So let's see. Let's try that again. we've got the neighbor from Hello Neighbor. So let's go ahead and make him aggressive. So I'll add that as the adjective, and we'll see this is, two characters that aren't ranged right here, although I made my neighbor throw out bear traps. I mean, you could throw out a cup, you could throw out anything from Hello Neighbor or whatever in the scripting. Of course, we created the Hello Neighbor in a past episode, as well as Robbie Rotten, as I mentioned. So feel free to check out the channel here, see where those were created if you are admiring their designs right now. They were all created by me, and so it looks like this is actually a pretty even match, but it is also going to take a long time. None of them are really scripted with, they just have the base default characters stats on them other than health. I did edit their health. Captain Underpants has a lot of health, but apparently so does the neighbor, because he's actually putting up quite a fight here, and it looks like the neighbor just barely going to eke out a victory, because this is going to be, is it the last punch? Yes, it is. The Captain Underpants is now down. Ow! The neighbor just straight up punched me. You want some of this? No, whatever. Okay, we need to find something else that I've created that our Captain Underpants actually will not lose to, I think, or at least have a even more just equal playing field right here. So we've got our battle cats, one of the basically normal battle cats right here. So we're gonna make them fight. We'll see what happens here, but if you guys did enjoy this, of course, feel free to leave a like, subscribe. I do this every single Sunday, sometimes more. And I also live stream over on Twitch, so that's twitch.tv/drkendo, twitch.tv/Dr. Kendo, and I'm basically there every Monday evening. You can see posts about it on my Discord or on my Twitter, also on the Dr. Kendo Commentaries Facebook page. There's a lot of places that I post when I'm going live every Monday night. It's at least night in Eastern and Central times when I start streaming. But okay, it looks like we are getting down to the wire with our Captain Underpants and our battle cats, and yes, Captain Underpants has taken the victory, so it looks like we finally found something. He could actually beat it. So there it is. There's our creation, and you guys are amazing. Remember, of course, July is coming up pretty soon. It's going to be here faster than we know it, and every single July is Founders Month on my channel. Founders Month being July is just because my channel started back in July of 2012, and so I like to celebrate by doing all different kinds of videos. We'll still have the Scribblenauts episodes every Sunday, but we try to just add more content to the channel during the month of July, special stuff that you don't normally see, and just all around add some hype for the month, more than usual, I guess we'll say. But okay, I will catch you guys on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.
Down the road of twists